Hi, my beautiful, sexy Scorpios. Even though I know sometimes you don't feel that way, but you are. Welcome to your August 2023 reading. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, those intuitively guided. Your guides, thank you for paying attention to your intuition. You may be in love with the Scorpio. Platonically, I know I am. My daughter her birthday is October 29th, Jennifer. Her channel is Jenny Love Tarot. And my brother is November 6th, Sean. Both such loving souls, and both beautiful. So, I'm saying that due to experience. All right, guys, we're going to get into your reading. I'm doing your reading on a mid-evening night. It just sounds beautiful, except for one little dog in the background barking. Hopefully he'll go away. But other than that, I like doing it this time of night because soon we're going to start hearing like all the nighttime creatures and critters, and I don't know, I feel it's very calming on a video. So if the dog doesn't stop barking, though, I will shut the window. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I'm going to bring the lid down a little bit. We're going to use 3 different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to go deeper. And the Psychic Tarot called out to me. First I was going to do the Light Seers, and I started shuffling, and then my eye kept going over to the Psychic Tarot, almost like that's the one you're supposed to pull, Sandy. So that's what I did. I learned to pay attention to my intuition. So this will be our main spread. Let's start with Mother Mary. And let's just get our words of wisdom. I'll read the meaning of the card from the book at the end of the reading. It just, I don't know, it hits me every time, like it hits me in the heart every time. And I hope it does the same for you. All right. We have children. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive change for them and me. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive change for them and me. Some of you may be called to this field in one way or another. It can even be like adoption. Could talk about your own children, but I also feel like you may talk about your own inner child. So I have a feeling it's got multiple meanings, and probably all apply. But we'll read that at the end. It'll come up in the reading some way. Alright, everything's pre-shuffled, by the way. Many of you know that, but I do like to, at first I started shuffling online when people were saying, I don't really like when readers don't shuffle online, so I did for you. But now I feel like it's just become part of my routine, and it's just calming to my mind. And that's exactly what I want to do. I just want to just let go and let it be. All right. Let's begin. All right, we have the Ace of Wands. That's a great first card. It tells me there's something that's being like ignited within you, and it feels like it's yours. Like, and what I mean by that is I feel like it's meant for you. It's something that maybe like epiphany, and like an epiphany that just sets you on this course. And no matter what, I feel like this is the fire. We have solitude. This is the hermit. Some of you are just on this spiritual quest. And it feels like it's exactly as it should be. Like, you know, it's almost like you're following your own soul's desire here. And then we have, this is the Seven of Wands, stand your ground. And then we have movement, choices, and decisions. So interesting. So I feel like first and foremost, I feel like I have to look at the hermit next to stand your ground, because I feel like this is talking about you finding comfort within yourself, like within your knowing, like within your deep mind, your deep conscious, like excuse me, I feel like just it is, or it's become, or it's becoming an important part of you. Stand your ground, I feel like is, you know, it's like almost like I'm putting a spiritual boundary in place. Some of you, I feel like, you know, you're learning new things. Like there's epiphanies coming to you. And I feel like just as they're meant to. And again, I'm saying that from a soul's perspective, like just as we planted. Now, at the same time, you know, this too puts the ball in your court. Movement, choices, decisions. Follow your gut and your wisdom. And I feel like don't let anyone talk you out of what you know that you know. Now, I'm not saying don't be open to listening to others, but this is something that I feel like you know, you just know what you know, and it feels like on a spiritual level. And who knows, you may be, and I get this all the time in your reading, like I think you're all natural healers, but I feel like some of you are like being called into action. It's like I can't learn anymore from the book. Now I have to put action in, right? The Ace of Wands, that's what it asks for. Just doesn't ignite that passion, but it asks you, especially with the two right there, like it asks you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. We have the Two of Cups. So this is the soulmate energy. Whether that be love or not, I don't know yet. But they are very like-minded. It's like they share one mind, actually. They're of one mind, so to speak. Interesting. We have the waiting game. Look at this, 222. Someone is here in this lifetime trying to learn and even overcome whatever needs to be overcome as it relates, I feel like, to love. And, you know, here's the thing. You know, it says the waiting game, but the Hermit's right above it. So I feel like, you know, ultimately, maybe I was waiting on another. But ultimately, something changed within you and took you deep. And it's through that, like, that I feel. So I feel like time wasn't wasted, though it feels like in the beginning it was. But ultimately, you know, it's like you dug yourself a hole, and now the Hermit has to find its way out. All right, wisdom. It's the Hierophant. card of Taurus, which is your opposite sign, by the way. Number 5. Excuse me. It's interesting because it's called wisdom here, and above that is stand your ground. So I feel like if someone's trying to talk you out of something spiritually that you just feel like you know what you know, I don't know. 5 asks for change, so I don't feel like, I don't feel like I'm in the waiting game anymore. And, I have to say, like some experience that you've been through actually was a great teacher, whether I know that yet or not, because it becomes your wisdom. All right, look at this, the Ace of Cups. How interesting. The Ace of Cups is mirroring the Two of Cups. Love begins. But look at this, the Eight of Swords. But someone's trapped in fear. Interesting that it would follow the Ace of Cups. Because I guess the ace, like an ace doesn't guarantee us anything. It's like, here it is, now what are you going to do? What are they going to do? I can't control someone else's free will. I know that. And I don't want, if that's what I'm trying to do, I am wasting my time. And it's interesting because the Ace of Cups is coming under the energy of you making a decision. One of these soulmates is in a self-created prison. And what's interesting about that is one can't break the other one free. Like, this is self-created. So the self is the only one who can uncreate it. So there may be someone that, they're either waiting on you or you were waiting on them. And, who's ever in this energy, and maybe it's both, but who's ever in this energy, first of all, if it's someone outside myself, it'd be very hard for them to give me what I need. Because that means they've created barriers around them. And sure, I can spend the rest of my life trying to peel back those layers, but I feel like as fast as I peel them back, another one appears. So I'm not saying this is something that's impossible. I'm just saying this is something that who's ever trying to peel back those layers, they're wasting their time. And I say that because, again, this is self-created. And I know the only one who can uncreate it is the one who created it. It's almost like someone's scratching their head. Do I give myself a new beginning or do I not? I don't know. And then I feel this energy of damn. Damn. Almost like I know that I've created this hole for myself and damn. But do I do anything about it? That's the thing, because I don't feel like someone's not doing anything about it, even though I may have the wisdom of it. Interesting, because once you know what you know, you can't unknow it. Just like I was saying up here, what you know. All right, and then we have spiritual strength. That's good. I feel like we need it right now. 2 9s are mirroring each other. One is of the Hermit, and the other is spiritual strength. with the waiting game in between. It's almost like your guide is holding up this time glass. It's like your guides are trying to keep, it's like that roof over you, trying to keep you safe from something collapsing in. And it doesn't feel easy. But nonetheless. And interesting, because I feel like it's almost like the Hierophant is within this card. And that's about my belief system. Sometimes, other people don't value us the way that we deserve to be valued. And, I don't know. I don't know. Look at that, the Fool. He did come in reverse. And I wasn't going to read reversals, but he's face up in reverse. So the Fool is, I'm leaving the past in the past. Even if it's hard, that's what I'm doing. Doesn't mean like anyone from your past can't come along, but it means that because I feel like you've been in this state of learning. And probably learning the hard way. But at the same time, it's like because of that, like this part of you is ignited. And I feel like, yes, you use your book smarts, but this doesn't even feel like it's about that. It's more like within your true belief system. And I don't even mean that on a religious in a religious way. It can mean that way, but I don't mean it that way. So anyway, the Fool. New beginning. But it wanted to flip itself around. Dang it. 3 of Swords. Dang it. Now, I have to say, the 3 of Swords is being mirrored by this 8 of Swords, a self-created prison again. And it's telling us exactly why it is the 3 of Swords. It's a broken heart. In some way. But it's very interesting because even though I know that's why this 8 of Swords, and listen, maybe it's 2 soulmates who just have to go through their own thing. I don't know. But I feel like even though this 8 of Swords is created out of the 3 of Swords energy, this water from this cup is like pouring down over her, and it feels very healing to me. And it's interesting because there's a rainbow there. I don't think it's reached her yet, or him. But nonetheless, I feel like it will. Alright. Dang it. Obstacles and challenges. Now it's on the bottom of the deck. So, first of all, I feel like all of a sudden I feel like I have to go in between these pegs, right? I just want to go straight. It's like if you go in an airport and you got to go through, and there's no one there, and you got to go through all those, or at least they expect you to. I go under, but you know what I mean? Like you got to go through all those different owls that they created. They created with the rope or what have you. Like, why are you wasting my time? Nonetheless, I do it anyway, right? Because it's the only way I'm going to reach where I have to go. And I think I'm saying that because I feel like, yes, there are obstacles and there are challenges. And maybe they're not easy to overcome, but I do feel like you can overcome them. Not only do I feel like you can, but I feel like you're being helped. Again, this Ace of Wands, I feel the importance of it, you know. I just do. I just do. Three of Cups underneath that. Yeah. Some of those obstacles could be alcohol. And I say that because, you know, I'm certainly not going to celebrate, which is the other meaning for the Three Cups, obstacles and challenges. So I have to read it more on its negative side. And it always takes me to, like, you know, I say alcohol, but let's just say, you know, some of these obstacles were created due to maybe alcohol or something like that. Not all of them. All right. Let's just get right into this. I feel like, listen, if I'm the fool down here, which we usually are when it's our reading, and it's in reverse, so almost like refusing a new beginning. And I feel like that's the human side of you, because I feel like the spiritual side of you knows that eventually you need to. It's like someone stripped you away. And, like, all of a sudden I got mad. I got mad. Getting mad at that dog. Well, there you are. Queen of Cups. Doesn't have to be you. But is Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces? Potentially. I say it like it has to be, when I always tell you the opposite. Like, kind of forget the sign and think of the energy of the Queen of Cups. You know, normally loving and nurturing. She's looking for emotional fulfillment. You know, some are looking for mental fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for someone who can mentally stimulate my mind, that type of thing. And I feel like this queen is looking more for someone who can give her emotional comfort. And them. We have the Empress, the mother figure. We have the Six of Wands. I kind of like that because it's coming over, stand your ground. Seven of Wands. And this is the energy of being victorious. This is really the energy of, you know, where other people are looking up to you. But it's because of your actions. You know, it can be because of your words, but your words, you would be, I feel like, describing your actions. We have the Page of Pentacles. Coming over movement, choices, and decisions. Some of you could talk about going back to school. You know, I feel like whatever your intuition is telling you, that's what you want to follow. Not so much your mind, but your gut. Page of Pentacles, you know, it's interesting how I opened your reading, and I don't even know, did I even say this, but I felt like, you know, there's a lot of you going through like different types of emotional turmoil or what have you, and some of you are here. I feel like in this lifetime, like part of your soul seeds of intention was this lesson, was to learn, you know, love and learn your value, and you know what I mean? Like, because I get this feeling of being stripped away, but that doesn't mean it can't be reclaimed. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's exactly what you're supposed to do if you want to know the truth. I feel like that is the answer to the question. Now, did you ask the question? You know, when the Empress shows up, let's remember that the Empress, even though I feel like she's very deep, and that would definitely describe Scorpio, because you're comfortable under the water as you are above it. Like you're comfortable, you know, like you're comfortable, how do I want to say this, like with the underdog as you would be with the upper class. That makes sense. So the Empress is someone who's creative, and is connected to that Ace of Wands. So like, you know, I feel like it must be you, and it must be an energy. I feel like I'm moving from the Queen into the Empress's energy. Even if I'm already a mother, it is a mother figure. Nonetheless, like, you know, I feel like if there are some life lessons here, but soul lessons really, to be learned, and you can know that, maybe it helps give you a different perspective. Because again, I can't help who doesn't want help, you know, or doesn't think they need help, or maybe they know they need help, but, you know, it's like, you know, I think of my son, like, I couldn't stop him from drinking. Didn't matter how much I loved him, right? Didn't matter. Now, I feel like for a few of you, excuse me, you've got to find this. Oh, I feel like something is. I don't know. Dang it. Hang on one second. Okay. It felt like something was crawling on me, but it was a piece of hair, my hair. What was I going to say? I feel like for some of you, I feel like something's trying to interrupt me, but I'm not going to let it. I feel like for some of you, you know, you have to find that spiritual being within you. You know, that's how you're going to get through. The Empress, by the way, you know, is almost like the Three of Swords opposite, both threes. But the Empress, you know, what does she do? What is she learning? She's learning how to stay loving. But she's also absorbing wisdom. And also she's receiving epiphanies, and she puts those epiphanies, you know, I feel like why is she receiving the epiphanies? Because she puts them to use. Could it be something that you do alone? Interesting. Maybe it's talking about your own experiences, you know? It's almost like when I do tarot, like in the beginning, I hated talking about myself, but I could see some of my experiences, and I felt like by telling you, it would help you. Now I feel much more comfortable. I've learned to like just trust whatever comes. All right. Look at that. We have the Devil over the Two of Cups. Card of Capricorn. We have the Page of Swords over the Waiting Game. Come on, doesn't somebody hear their dog barking? Like, who just leaves their dog out to bark and bark and bark? We have the Three of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Interesting. Guardian angel energy coming right over the Ace of Cups. You know, the Knight of Cups is all about patience and the right time. And, you know, when is the right time? I don't know. When the timing is right. You know, I feel like, you know, in a way, it's kind of giving us hints. But how much do I love that, you know, however you want to read this night, I read it as one of your angels. I just do, or your main spirit guide. Is, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is bringing something into your physical world. So it is talking about love coming into your physical world. We have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. This is interesting. You know, it's interesting that Six of Cups comes over the Eight of Swords, because to me, it's like, all right, we already know they're soulmates here. But to me, the Six of Cups is a bit like the happy times, the happy memories. And, I feel like they're becoming less and less and less. And maybe that's, you know, I see trapped in fear, like there's a trap. I feel like, I feel like you're going to know your voice. Because again, I feel there's an importance to your voice. I feel like there's someone who, when they communicate, they may be a little immature. Like their words seem to be like, I don't know if immature is the right word. but I feel like, I feel like this queen is growing into the Empress's skin. And I feel like if there's anyone outside this Empress, I feel like to reach her. You know, it's almost like, what's the word? Not transformation. You know, it's transformation, but like a chameleon. Because I feel like, you know, as I'm moving from the Queen to the Empress, it means that you know, like I'm learning, and you know, there's a lot of nines here, so you know, it is about reflection, right? I need to reflect upon these cycles. I need to understand them. You know, maybe from an earthly point of view, but also from a spiritual point of view. You know, I don't know. I just feel like it's interesting because the Three of Cups again can feel like drinking again. And then I add what feels like a little bit of immature energy in there. Let's keep going. See why the Fool's in reverse, even though it's pretty clear. We have the High Priestess. Well, there you go. There's your intuition. Your intuition is being ignited, awakened, whatever you want to say. You know, whatever obstacles or challenges or both that you have or have had or are going through, I feel like there's spiritual help, but you got to know that. You know, you got to know that. You know, saying I'm going to take on the Fool's energy doesn't mean that I'm saying that something can never be. It just can't be the way it is. It, you know, if I move into the Empress's skin, or, you know, I become the Empress, you know, I'm not going to lower my vibration to meet yours. You know, and I'm not saying this from an egotistical place at all. It's just that, like, you know, I'm really learning and I'm growing as I learn. But I do feel like, listen, I do feel like you've been, like someone was stripped away. And I feel like it's almost like I got to put myself back together. But listen, your guides know that. You know, so when it says, you know, the Fool, a new beginning, all it's saying is you're not, you know, I'm not going to, first of all, I'm not going to wait. You know what I mean? Like, even though you have patience with the Knight of Pentacles, the waiting game is a different type of energy. You know, the Knight of Pentacles comes in almost like in a spiritual way, but is bringing something physical, where the waiting game almost feels like a psychological type of energy. I don't know where I was going with that. We have the Five of Pentacles. And look at this, we have the Ten of Cups. Here's the one thing I want to say. Don't risk your life, your home, your money for another. You know what I mean? Like, think about you, because you need to think about you. You know, some of these obstacles and challenges are much easier to overcome when you put yourself in the energy of, listen, whatever is happening over here with the soulmates, whatever is going to happen, let it be. It'll be what it'll be. right? But don't allow, because I feel like, do I allow this Three of Swords to, throw me out in the cold? So, because I feel like creatively your intuition is being ignited. But you got to trust in that. And I feel like your story is an important story. And maybe it's your life story. Maybe it's one story, who knows? And it doesn't even mean like you're somewhere just talking about you. It just means that your experiences, some way, somehow, help form the potential of what can be. If that makes sense. So anyway, here's this Knight of Pentacles now. He's got the Ten of Cups under him. Well, that's a house of harmony. That's a house of love. The Knight of Pentacles is right over the Ace of Cups. It's interesting because I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is like, you just got to let it be. The timing of it. And I feel like it's almost talking to me. Like, I just got to, like, don't dig for, like, when I'm coming in, because maybe it's about self-discovery. And, I don't want to, like, even though I want to, like, rush it for you, maybe I'm not meant to. Same with who's ever in this Eight of Swords. And for some of you, it's you. And for some of you, it's both. But for different reasons. Understand that, like, if I do nothing, if I do nothing, I feel like, do I get thrown out into the cold? It's interesting, we have the Ten of Cups here, mirrored by the Six of Cups over here. Okay. I think I want to ask, what do I want to ask? I don't know. I feel like I want to know what the Empress's goal is. Like, what is her goal? Some of you, I feel like, you absorb a lot of info at night. And some of you, I see you, like, reading at night. Like, reading, like, maybe the kids go to bed, you're reading. And when you're reading, you're learning. Because maybe it's close to bedtime, and so that energy, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I can just see that happening. Anyway. We have the Three of Wands. And that makes sense. That's the opposite of the Three of Swords. Three of Wands is just saying, I just know my ships will come in when they're meant to come in. And that's that. Three of Wands is looking at something optimistically. It's looking at your life. The potential of what, may be. Let's say, because it is touching the Ace of Wands. Let's follow that a little bit. We have the Page of Cups. Could be your inner child. We have the Nine of Wands. To me, Nine of Wands is pretty deep reflection. But really what I'm learning as I reflect is how strong I've become. Maybe I felt weak. Maybe I did feel weak. Maybe I felt like pinned to the ground. But then I realized that, the anyone who's keeping me pinned is me. Even if someone gives me false promises, it's up to me if I take them, if I believe them, if I, you know what I mean? So ultimately, I have that awareness in the Nine of Wands. It's coming over the Three of Cups, so, I hate to say this because, my daughter likes to have a good time, but, just watch your drinking. We have the Queen of Wands. And look at this, we have the Two of Cups again. Interesting. Okay. There's no denying there's soulmate energy here. There's no denying there's some hard experiences here. No denying that. There's also no denying that there's really quite divine energy here at the same time. Because I feel like even as I go through this heartache of the Three of Swords, it's like this healing water is like coming down upon you. And I don't feel like you know that. And I feel like, I feel like the more that you allow yourself to be in the Three of Wands energy, the more you trust within yourself and you take action. Because remember, in the Six of Wands, people are looking up to this person because of the actions they've taken. And again, doesn't mean I'm not speaking it. It's almost like, let me tell you what I've learned. And I've learned a lot. So, what am I going to do? I can't deny the Two of Cups. Here it is. I don't even know why I'm trying. Dang dog. Two of Cups is coming over your intuition. And listen, even if, because again, I feel like there's one of the soulmates, if not both, are in the Eight of Swords energy. And if it's not me, or if I'm in it for because of just the way things hurt, once I know that I've created this prison, because I feel like it almost feels like I'm digging myself a hole. And I'm doing it because of another's actions or non-actions. So I need to be aware of that, because I feel like when I set myself free from that, it's like, okay, well then my life, starts. Life begins. Things start moving. Epiphanies start coming in. You rebuild what was stripped away. And then I feel like, who's ever your soulmate here, I feel like they're going to show. And I feel like when in just the right time. And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is and that's all I'm going to tell you. But I'll be damned if there's not some lessons, and not just lessons, but if you look at it as a spiritual way, it's true opportunity for growth. But it didn't come easy. It didn't come easy. But man, I have to say, it feels like the reward is worth it. Because again, this Knight of Pentacles is carrying the Ten of Cups over the Ace of Cups. And we now see the Two of Cups twice. So I feel like, maybe if I just trust in that, but in the meantime, I do my thing. I just let it be. I feel like I hand it over, and I just, what will be, will be. But in the meantime, I'm going to create. I'm going to learn. I'm going to become all of that. And I know, listen, I may be starting at a 3, but again, my ships, they're not that far off. They're not that far off. I just gotta keep my focus in that direction. Alright, let's read children. I'm really not sure how children fit. It's, not very often I say that. So for some of you, I feel like it's talking about, like, you work with children, that type of thing. But let's read. Miracles occur as God's healing love flows through an open human heart. You are a vessel for miracles involving children. This card comes to you because the answer to your question has to do with young people. Mother Mary oversees everyone whose life purpose involves children, as she cares deeply for their welfare. Work in conjunction with her to bring more of them into your life and to help youths in need. She will guide your every step if you'll listen carefully to the wisdom within your heart. I don't know, guys. Some of you, I feel like it's a direction you feel called to. And maybe that is just your clarification. You know what I mean? It's what I needed, Sandy. Alright, I'm going to let it be. I love you guys. Shout out to my daughter. She doesn't watch my videos because I try very hard. Like, it's like, okay, she's seeing this guy who's a Capricorn, and I personally feel like this person is a narcissist, and I'm trying not to bring that energy into the reading because I don't want to preach, you know what I mean? And I do feel like a lot of you go through the same experiences she does, and I tell her that when she does her readings. I'm like, use your experiences, and I feel that for a lot of you, you know what I mean? Because many of you, again, are like called to the underdog, but no, when and who is worth your time, and when and who is not. Again, it doesn't mean that something can't come about. And listen, it's almost like give away control of, like, I almost feel like who it is, and just know that it exists. When, well, there's some reflection going on. There's just some obstacles to overcome. There's a prison that just needs broken free from. And I feel like that moves everything. Alright, I'm going to stop talking. I love you guys. I thank you for all the ways you support my channel. Thank you for your donations. Truly keeps the channel alive. And that's for a lot of readers. I know that. I always try, if I'm able to catch someone else's reading, which is very seldom, and if I do, it's usually somebody here, where you sent me a link and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to check it out, and I try to subscribe to you. But anyway, what's my point? I forget. Anyway, I forget my point. I thank you for your donations. I thank you for sharing this video with others. That's another way you can help. Like, maybe you have no money, share the video or watch the ads, you know what I mean? Like, things like that. Though I don't know if any of it even matters. I love you guys. I will see you next time at a ringing. I'm going to go deal with the dog. Bye-bye.